Hey there. Ever stop to think about chemistry? I'm not talking about scientists in white lab coats, but the chemistry that's happening all around you, every single second of the day. It's in the air you breathe, the food you eat, and even in the feelings you feel. It's the science you never see, and today, we're going to pull back the curtain.
So let me start with a question for you. How many chemical experiments did you run before you even had breakfast this morning? You're probably thinking, zero, obviously. But what if I told you the answer is probably dozens? Let's take a walk through a totally normal day, and I'll show you what I mean.
And it all kicks off the moment your alarm goes off. See, your morning routine, it isn't just a list of things you do. It's actually a whole series of tiny, carefully designed chemical reactions that get you ready to face the world. Just think about your bathroom for a second. That cabinet is basically a mini laboratory. Your toothpaste, it's using mild abrasives and the chemical fluoride to get your teeth clean. Your shampoo uses these special molecules called surfactants, which are amazing. They basically help oil and water mix so you can wash away dirt. Even the breakfast you're about to make is just a collection of chemical compounds like carbs and proteins. And speaking of food, the second you start cooking, you officially put on your chemist hat. You're not just heating stuff up. You are fundamentally changing the chemical structure of your food. And you're doing it to make it taste great and, actually be digestible.
For instance, when you boil an egg, what's really happening? The heat is causing the proteins inside to unfold and tangle all up. It's a process called denaturation, and that's what turns the liquidy egg into a solid. Or what about that beautiful brown crust on a piece of toast? That's the Maillard reaction. It's this incredible chemical dance between amino acids and sugars that creates all that amazing flavor.
Okay, so after breakfast, you've got to clean up. We all use soap, but how does it actually work? It's not magic. It's actually some pretty fascinating molecular engineering. Soaps create these awesome little cages called micelles, and their whole job is to trap dirt. Here's the breakdown. A soap molecule is two-faced. It has one end that loves water and another end that loves grease and oil. So the grease-loving tails dive in and grab onto all the dirt. Meanwhile, the water-loving heads all face outward, and they form a tiny sphere, that's the micelle, with the dirt trapped inside. Then, when you rinse with water, poof, the water just grabs those spheres and washes the whole package deal right down the drain. It's so simple but totally brilliant.
And here's something you might not know. Soaps and detergents? Totally different things. Soaps are made from natural stuff, like fats, and they're biodegradable. But they don't work so well in hard water, they leave behind that nasty soap scum. Detergents, on the other hand, are synthetic. They work great in any kind of water, but some of them aren't biodegradable. It just goes to show you, even our cleaning choices have chemical trade-offs.
All right, so we're clean, we're fed, now it's time to step outside. And this is where the scale of chemistry gets, well, a whole lot bigger. Think about your commute. Whether you're in a car, on a bus, or taking a train, your journey is powered by a super famous chemical reaction called combustion. You're taking a fuel, mixing it with oxygen, and boom! You release a massive amount of energy that gets you from A to B. But, as you probably know, this reaction isn't perfectly clean. Yeah, that powerful combustion reaction has a flip side. It produces a bunch of unwanted stuff, like carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxides. And those are basically the main ingredients in air pollution. It's the unavoidable other side of that chemical coin. Okay, now I want you to just look around. I'm serious, right now. Look at your phone case, the chair you're sitting on, maybe the clothes you're wearing. There's a really good chance they're all made from these incredibly long, repeating chains of molecules. These are called polymers, and they're amazing. By linking up tons of tiny molecules into these long chains, chemists can design materials that have almost any property you can imagine, from something super flexible like a phone case to something incredibly strong like a bulletproof vest. Polymers are the real workhorses of our modern world. So we've looked at chemistry in our homes, in our cars, and in the world around us. But honestly, the most complex, most incredible chemical factory of all is the one that's inside your own body. Right this second, as you're sitting here watching this, millions upon millions of chemical reactions are firing off inside of you. Your digestive system is breaking down food into energy. Your respiratory system is turning oxygen into fuel for your cells. Hormones are zipping around like little messengers, carrying chemical signals all over your body. You are a walking, talking chemical masterpiece. But here's what might be the most mind-blowing part of all this. Chemistry isn't just physical. Even your feelings, your happiness, your fear, your mood, all of it is driven by tiny little molecules bouncing around in your brain. You know that rush of pure happiness you feel when something great happens? You can thank a chemical called dopamine for that. That feeling of being stable and content, that's serotonin helping regulate your mood. And that jolt of energy you get when you're startled or scared, that's adrenaline, getting your body ready for fight or flight. Your entire emotional world is painted with a chemical palette.
So it's pretty clear that chemistry is powerful. It builds our world and it runs our bodies. But that kind of power comes with a whole lot of responsibility, which brings us to our shared chemical future.
Our industrial systems, our agriculture, our transportation, all of it is built on chemistry. And all of it has created some enormous challenges for us. Things like industrial waste, vehicle emissions, and of course plastic pollution are putting a real strain on our environment. But here's the really hopeful part. The very same science that might have contributed to some of these problems is also our absolute best tool for solving them. Chemistry is a powerful tool, and it's really up to us to decide how we're going to use it.
And that brings us to this really exciting field called green chemistry. Now, this isn't some new kind of chemistry, it's more like a new philosophy. It's all about designing chemical processes right from the very beginning to be safer, way more efficient, and a whole lot less harmful to the planet.
And what's the end game for all of this? Well, the ultimate goal boils down to one single powerful idea: sustainability. It's about creating a world where we can meet all of our needs without wrecking things for future generations. So, why does any of this matter? Because understanding the chemistry that's happening around you all day, every day, it's not just a bunch of cool trivia. It gives you a brand new lens for seeing the world, a chemical worldview, if you will. It helps you make more informed choices about the things you buy, the food you eat, and the impact you have on the world. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. Now that you can see the hidden chemistry in everything, how are you going to interact with your world differently? Thanks for tuning in.